Okay, today we're diving into a revolution, but it's not one you'll see on the news every night. It's happening quietly, but it's fundamentally changing maybe the most important part of our lives, our health. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is moving out of the tech labs and straight into our clinics, our operating rooms, and our drug trials. It's kind of working behind the scenes, giving doctors and scientists these new superpowers that honestly felt like science fiction just a handful of years ago. So it's one thing to talk about AI as this big abstract idea, right? But what does it actually do? Well, that's what we're going to get into. We're going to look at some mind-blowing, real-world examples of AI in action, and we're starting right in the operating room. All right, first up, surgery and diagnosis reimagined. We're talking about two of the most critical moments for any patient, getting that clear diagnosis and then, the surgery itself. Let's talk about breast cancer surgery. For years, surgeons have had to rely on these flat 2D MRI scans to figure out their plan. But check this out. A new FDA-cleared tool uses AI to take those flat scans and, almost instantly, turn them into a detailed, interactive 3D model. The difference is just night and day. You go from a flat slice to a full 360-degree view of the tumor that you can actually spin around and inspect. This gives surgeons this incredible precision to get all the bad stuff out while saving as much healthy tissue as possible. And why is that precision so critical? Well, because right now, more than 20% of breast cancer lumpectomies don't get all the cancer cells. Think about that. That means 1 in every 5 patients has to go back for a second surgery. Tools like this are trying to make that a thing of the past. Okay, so that level of precision is just as important when it comes to diagnosis. I'm talking about catching those conditions that are really tough to spot early on. And now, AI is stepping into the cardiologist's office to help tackle that exact problem. So to do this, researchers built this deep learning model. But how in the world do you teach an AI to be a better cardiologist? It's not like you can give it a textbook. No, you feed it data, a ton of data. In this case, over 1 million patient records. That massive, incredible scale, that's where the magic is. So, how did it do? Well, in real-world tests, the AI model actually outperformed human cardiologists at spotting several types of structural heart disease. Now, this isn't about replacing doctors, not at all. It's about giving them a co-pilot, a powerful tool to help them catch really dangerous conditions way sooner than they might have on their own. So we've seen how AI is helping us see and detect disease better. But what about actually treating it? Let's take a look at how it's making our drug trials and our therapies way more effective. You've got to hear this story. It's fascinating. A few years back, there was this really promising Alzheimer's drug. It went into a huge clinical trial, but it failed. It was a massive disappointment for everyone, and the drug just got put on a shelf to collect dust. But wait, that wasn't the end of it. Some researchers decided to go back and use a new predictive AI tool to reanalyze all the data from that so-called failed trial. They were basically looking for any patterns that the human analysts might have totally missed the first time around. And the AI did something brilliant. It didn't just look at the big picture results. It dove deep into all the MRIs, the PET scans, the genetic data, and it started sorting patients into different groups, separating the ones who were declining really fast from those who were declining more slowly. And in doing that, it found this clear signal that was just buried in all the noise. The result was absolutely stunning. It turned out that for one specific subgroup, patients in the very early stages of Alzheimer's, the drug was actually highly effective. It slowed down their cognitive decline by 46% compared to the placebo. A drug that everyone thought was a total failure was actually a hidden success story. It just makes you wonder, right? How many other failed drugs are out there, just waiting for the right group of patients? And this whole idea of finding the right patient, that's really the heart of personalized medicine. Take H. pylori, for example. It's a super common bacterial infection. Researchers built an AI clinician and trained it on thousands of patient records. So instead of the usual one-size-fits-all treatment, this AI looks at you as an individual, your age, where you live, what antibiotics you've taken before, and it crafts a tailored plan just for you. And the results speak for themselves. The standard success rate for getting rid of this infection is around 88%. Pretty good. But when doctors used the AI's personalized recommendations, that rate jumped to over 94%. That's a huge real-world improvement, just from using data a little more intelligently. Okay, so we've seen AI make treatments more precise and more personal. But what if it could help us get ahead of the game, to be more proactive and tackle the root causes of disease? For this last part, we're going to zoom all the way in, down to the cellular level, to see how AI is helping us decode one of the most mysterious processes of all, aging itself. So to get this, we have to talk about something called senescent cells. The easiest way to think of them is like zombie cells. Seriously, they're old, they're damaged, they stop dividing like they're supposed to, but they don't die. They just hang around, leaking stuff that contributes to aging and diseases like osteoarthritis. Now, trying to study these cells has always been incredibly difficult and time-consuming, but a new AI tool can now spot them automatically just by looking through a microscope. It's been trained to recognize these tiny telltale signs that a cell is turning into a zombie, things like its nucleus getting all irregular or changes in how the DNA is packed inside. And why does that matter? Well, the impact here is potentially enormous. By automating this really tedious process of finding the zombie cells, scientists can now test new drugs designed to clear these cells out of the body, way faster. This could literally fast-track research into treatments for a whole bunch of age-related diseases. So when you step back and look at it all, we've seen AI reimagining surgery, sharpening diagnosis, rescuing failed drug trials, and even decoding aging. It all kind of leads us to this one final, really big question about what comes next. Whether it's building a 3D model of a tumor or tailoring an antibiotic just for you, the common thread here is that AI is helping medicine evolve. It's helping it become more precise in how it acts, more proactive in how it finds problems, and way more personalized for every single one of us. Which leaves us all with a pretty provocative question to chew on. For your next diagnosis, who would you trust more? An AI that's learned from a million different cases, or a single, very experienced doctor? Maybe the real answer isn't choosing one over the other. Maybe it's a partnership between both. It's a future we're all going to be navigating a lot sooner than we think. Thanks for digging into this with me.